Hi, I'm taking a look at the Kandle 2 LED book light for Amazon Kindles and other ebook readers. This is it in the middle, and it's a very light, compact design. This is one of the reasons why I decided to get this, because the old Kindle light that I had made by Belkin took 3 AA batteries, and it was pretty heavy. It was about 3 ounces or so, and this one is about half as heavy at only about 1.5 or 1.4 ounces. So it does have some negatives, but it makes up for those negatives by being so light, so that when I put it on the Kindle, it just doesn't weigh the Kindle down very much. So I'll go into the design and features of this as well, but this is the box that it comes in. And on the back of it, it just says, now powered by 3 ultra bright X2 LEDs that never need replacing. Newly designed power button offers 3 levels of brightness for the perfect screen illumination. Actually, it only has 2 levels of brightness. I guess they're counting off as 1 level of brightness. New patent pending wide lip grip does not block the screen on the Kindle, Sony Reader, and other ebook readers. Double pivoting arms allow for easy positioning and adjustment for tailored screen illumination. Wide lip grip also works perfectly on books without blocking the text on the page. It includes 2 CR2032 batteries installed, plus an extra set, as well as a protective pouch. So this is the stuff that comes with. This is the little protective pouch that you can put the light in when you're not using it or when you're traveling. And then it also comes with a little screwdriver and 2 extra batteries, as well as the warranty and the manual. The reason why it comes with a screwdriver is because when you're replacing the battery, you actually have to unscrew this little panel right here on the back of the unit to put in the 2 extra lithium batteries. So that's a little bit of an annoyance to have to use a screwdriver. It would be much nicer if they had some other mechanism for the door to replace the batteries, because that's kind of a hassle. So that's one negative about this. So this is the light, and it just sort of, it has a clip right here like that, and inside the clip is some rubber strips right here to protect the Kindle when it goes on. So you just basically clip it right on the Kindle and it stays on like that. And then you lift this part up, and this is the light. And then the switch is right here. So you just turn that on, and as you can see, it just illuminates the Kindle. Now it provides a pretty good even light. Certainly lights with a gooseneck would provide more of an even light, because you could take the gooseneck and position it a little bit better. But so this one is brighter at the top, and then the brightness does taper down towards the bottom, but it's really not that bad, and it's quite readable. So this is the low setting, and then it also has a high setting. Press it again and it gets brighter. This one's a little bit more even, but it's also bright too. So on this high setting, it's a little bit more of an even light because it reaches more down to the bottom, but it's also quite a bit brighter as well. And of course, also you can position this as well. So opening it up wider will give you more light shining down, and it has a whole bunch of different angles that you can set. So it's quite versatile in that respect. And I'll turn off the lights in a little bit so you can get a sense of how bright this is and how it looks in the dark. But this is a pretty good light. I do like it a lot, and like I said, it's almost featherweight. It's only like 1.5 ounces, so it doesn't add a whole lot of weight to your e-reader or your Kindle, which is really nice, and that's one of the things that I like about it. In terms of the design of it, it's nice and compact for traveling with. As you can see, it's pretty small, and again, it does come with this little pouch that you can put it in when you're traveling, so it fits quite nicely in there. And it's just a compact design, doesn't take up a lot of room. My other Kindle LED light took up a lot more space than this when I traveled with it. And so all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. Now let's talk about some of the negatives. Well, the first one is the build quality. For the price, this build quality is real cheapy. It just feels almost like a toy. The build quality, just makes it seem like it's a bit overpriced. So, if this was a little bit less pricey, I would be able to like it more. However, I still do sort of recommend it, just because of how light it is and the functionality of it and stuff like that. Another negative is this right here is the power button. So it's a little bit tricky because it also happens to be right where your thumb rests when you use the clip to clip it onto your Kindle. So sometimes if you're using the clip, if you're not careful, you'll actually press the power button as you're clipping. You have to be careful because it's, see, as you can see, it's on right there. So if I flip that up, you can see it's on. So it's a little bit precarious having the power button there. But once you do get used to it, it's not a big deal. You can just avoid pressing it once you get used to it. And then the other negative I touched on earlier is that you need a screwdriver to replace the batteries. And I have read some online reviews saying that the batteries on this really don't last that long because they are the small, watch-type lithium batteries. On the plus side, though, you can buy these for a very cheap price, on Amazon and other sites like that. So you can just stock up on these, and it's not too big of a deal. So, the trade-off in having these batteries is that it's very, very light. Other ebook readers that take regular batteries, like AAA batteries, are much, much heavier. So, everything is a trade-off. So in the end, I really do like this Kandle 2 by Ozeri clip-on light for my Kindle. And let's go ahead and put it back on the Kindle. And I'll turn off the lights and we'll see how it looks in the dark. Okay, I'm back and it's pretty dark in the room, so let me go ahead and turn on the Kandle 2. And you can see how it looks. As you can see, it does provide a pretty good illumination to the Kindle. It is a little bit hotter on the top, brighter on the top. But like I mentioned, if you move this up and you just sort of adjust your angle, you can get a pretty good, nice, even reading angle. And so this is the low setting. If I press the button again, it turns it on the high setting, and you can see that. And let me turn it off, and then turn it back on the low setting. I generally read on the low setting. I find that perfectly bright and adequate for me. And let me just show it to you on the actual Kindle Touch here, so you can kind of see. Maybe you can't see, but on the back of it, it just sort of clips on quite nicely there. I have had no problem with it falling off or anything, especially when I'm reading like in bed and have it angled down like this. It seems fairly sturdy. So, it remains to be seen how long this clip will last, but for now, it seems pretty good, and I like it a lot. It also remains to be seen quite how long the battery life is. I don't think the battery life is going to be too good, so you probably do want to stock up on these extra batteries to have around, because the battery life probably isn't really that great on this. So this has been my look at the Kandle 2 LED light for the Amazon Kindle and other ebook readers by Ozeri. Any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Thanks for watching.